Have you noticed mornings feel different lately? You open your eyes, and something feels off. The room is the same, but you are not. There's a heaviness in the air before you have even moved. Your hand reaches for the phone before your mind decides. The first thing you absorb is not light, but noise. By the time you stand up, you already feel behind. You used to wake up curious about the day. Now you wake up bracing for it. And somewhere quietly you wonder when the shift began. This question matters more than most people realize. Your morning is not just a time of day. It is the blueprint your nervous system follows. Whatever happens in the first hour shapes the rest. For most of human history, mornings were slow. The body had time to wake fully before demands began. Today, the brain wakes up already under attack. Notifications, headlines, and urgent emails arrive before consciousness fully returns. You are not imagining the change. The texture of your mornings has genuinely shifted in recent years. And it is not because you are aging, it is not because you are lazy or weak. Something deeper has happened to the way you start your day. Stay with me, because this next part matters. Neuroscience has a name for the state your brain enters after waking. It is called the theta-alpha transition. In this window, your brain is uniquely open. Memories consolidate, identity rebuilds, and emotional tone is set. This window lasts roughly 30 to 90 minutes after waking. Whatever enters your mind during this time imprints deeply. For thousands of years, this window was filled with quiet, with breath, with light, with slow human thought. Today, you fill it with someone else's agenda. Headlines, messages, and algorithms colonize your most vulnerable state. This is the part most productivity advice never mentions. The problem is not your willpower or your morning routine. The problem is what enters your nervous system first, before your prefrontal cortex is even fully online. Picture this: you wake up, reach for your phone, and within 90 seconds you have absorbed strangers' problems. A breaking news headline, an urgent email, a friend's vacation photo, a stranger's opinion, a passive comparison. Your brain has not yet decided who you are today, but it has already received 50 external instructions. By the time you sit down to focus, the day already feels reactive. You are responding, not creating. If you have experienced this, you are not alone, and you are not broken. You are simply living through the largest unconsented experiment on human attention in history, and the cost shows up in your mornings. There is something even more surprising about this pattern. Researchers have found that morning input shapes afternoon focus. The chemicals released in the first hour set your baseline cortisol. High cortisol mornings produce scattered, anxious afternoons. Low cortisol mornings produce calm, sustained focus. The same person becomes two different workers depending on the first hour. So when you ask why deep work feels harder now, the answer often lies hours earlier, before you even started working. The afternoon slump is rarely about the afternoon. It is usually about how the morning was spent. The scattered evening mind is rarely about evening fatigue. It is usually echoing the first hour of input. Your morning has quietly become a stranger. It belongs to apps, to feeds, to the demands of others. But this is reversible. The same window that gets hijacked can be reclaimed. And the reclamation is simpler than you think. It does not require waking at 5 in the morning. It does not require cold plunges, journaling, or 30-minute meditations. It requires one specific protection. Protect the first 60 minutes. That is the entire foundation of everything that follows. Not 90 minutes, not 2 hours, just 60 quiet minutes that belong to you alone. This is small enough to be possible, and large enough to change everything downstream. What neuroscience discovered next changes everything. The brain's morning vulnerability is also its morning superpower. In that same theta-alpha window, your subconscious is unusually receptive. Whatever you place there compounds throughout the day. If you place anxiety, the day amplifies anxiety. If you place clarity, the day amplifies clarity. This is not mystical thinking. It is simply how a freshly waking brain processes early input. The first thoughts of the day act like seeds. Whatever you plant in that soil grows by evening. So the first practical shift is this: delay your phone for 60 minutes after waking. Not forever, not as punishment, just 60 minutes of sovereignty over your own nervous system. Comment: which of these morning patterns describes your daily start? The reactive scroll, the silent dread, or the rushed routine out the door? If this feels familiar, drop a single word below: mornings. It helps the channel reach others struggling the same way. Then return here, because the next part is where the real change begins to take root. The second shift is about input order. Whatever you consume first becomes the lens for the entire day. If your first input is bad news, the world looks dangerous. If your first input is your own breath, the world feels workable. This is not optimism, it is neurology. The brain anchors emotional tone to its earliest stimuli. The third shift is light. Your eyes were designed to receive sunlight before they receive screens. 10 minutes of natural light stabilizes your circadian rhythm. It signals your body that the day has truly begun. Without this signal, your brain stays half asleep until noon. With this signal, focus arrives by mid-morning naturally. The fourth shift is movement, not exercise, just movement. A walk, a stretch, anything physical and slow. Movement releases the night's accumulated stiffness. It tells your nervous system you are safe and embodied. The fifth shift is silence. Most people have not experienced 10 minutes of true morning silence in years. Silence is where the brain catches up with itself. Without it, you carry yesterday's noise into today. These 5 shifts are not a routine to perform, they are conditions to create for your nervous system. Light, movement, silence, delayed input, and intention. 5 small protections that together rebuild the morning. What's coming next is the exact sequence that rebuilds your morning. It takes about 30 days to feel different. Day 1 will feel uncomfortable. Your hand will reach for the phone reflexively, again and again. Day 3 will feel quieter. You will notice sounds you forgot existed in your own home. Day 7 will feel spacious. You will start hearing your own thoughts again, slowly at first. Day 14 will feel powerful. You will realize how much was being stolen from you for years. Day 30 will feel like a different life, because in many quiet ways, it actually is. Your focus deepens, your patience returns, your reactions slow down in the best possible way. The person who used to feel rushed by 9 begins to feel grounded by 9. Same hours, different ownership. This is not transformation through force. It is transformation through reclamation of what was always yours. The mornings you remember from childhood were not magical because of childhood. They were calm because nothing demanded your attention before you were ready. You can return to that state as an adult, not by escaping technology, but by sequencing it. Tools are not the enemy. Tools used before consciousness is fully online is the enemy. Stay with me. This next part will explain something about your brain you have never been able to put into words. The reason mornings feel different now is that your nervous system never gets to finish waking. It is interrupted mid-process every single day. Imagine a flower forced to bloom before sunrise. It opens partially, but never fully. It functions, but never thrives. That is your brain on hijacked mornings. Functional, but never fully here. Present, but never fully arrived. When you protect the first hour, the flower opens completely. The same brain becomes capable of depth it forgot it had. This is why deep work feels distant. Not because you lost the skill, but because you lost the conditions for it. Restore the conditions, and the skill returns. Usually within a few weeks, sometimes within just a few days. The brain is remarkably forgiving. It does not need years of repair, only days of respect. There is one more layer to this truth. The morning sets the relationship you have with yourself that day. A reactive morning teaches you that you are at the world's mercy. A protected morning teaches you that you are at your own command. Over months, this becomes identity. You either become someone the day happens to or someone who shapes the day. Identity is not built in grand moments. It is built in the small first choices made each morning. Both versions of you are real and possible. The morning quietly chooses which one shows up. So the question is not whether mornings feel different lately. The question is what you will do about it now. You do not need a perfect routine. You need a protected window of time. 60 minutes. No phone, no email, no news. Just light, movement, silence, and intention. That is the entire prescription. Everything else you read about mornings is decoration around this core. Tomorrow morning will arrive whether you prepare or not. The only question is who truly owns the first hour. Ownership is not declared. It is practiced one quiet morning at a time, with no audience. If the apps own it, you will spend the day chasing focus. If you own it, focus will be waiting where you left it. Start tonight, not tomorrow. Put the phone in another room before you sleep. Set a real alarm clock if you must. Place a book, a glass of water, or a pen by your bedside. Make the first physical reach in the morning point towards something human, not something engineered to capture and hold you. That single change reorganizes everything downstream. Your mornings become yours again. Your focus quietly follows. Notice what your body does in the first 10 minutes of waking tomorrow. Notice where your eyes drift, where your hand goes. That noticing alone begins the change. Awareness is always the first lever, before any action. Have you noticed mornings feel different lately? Now you understand exactly why. And now you know it is not permanent. It is a setting, not a fate, a pattern, not an identity. The brain that feels foggy at 8 can feel clear by 10. The body that feels heavy at 7 can feel light by 8. Not through hustle or harder effort, through quiet, deliberate protection of one window. The world will not protect your morning for you. No app will protect your morning. No employer or family will protect it. Only you can. And once you do, you remember what mornings were always meant to be. A beginning, not a reaction. A sunrise, not an alarm. An invitation, not an obligation. If something here resonated, share it with someone whose mornings have felt different too. They are waiting for permission to take theirs back. Subscribe if you want more of these slow truths in a fast world. This channel exists for the quiet work most people skip past. Let others race through their mornings. You are learning to walk through yours with full attention. Your hours are not infinite. Your mornings are not optional. Your attention is your last real currency. How you wake is how you live. Choose the first hour, and you choose the life.